Okay, it's you.
We're back, and joining us for the second part of the half hour is Ipek Cruz. Before we go, we'd like to give you some stuff. This is dried pineapples and dried mangoes from Arnhem. Yeah, so you can take it to New York with you. New York.
And thank you to
SM. Thank you to
Francis.
To Francis.
For the.
Thank you to Francis Maligon Xiao. That's right.
Yes, thank you to SM Department Stores for our clothes. We'd like to thank Tony and Guy. Thank you to
Eileen and Wendell.
Yes. Thank you very much, and Cherry. And I'd also like to thank Dr. Levi Lansangan and Dr. Anna Lansangan of Shemian Manila. And for all those who would like their children to learn through play, please call Gymboree at 910-PLAY or 910-7529. Gymboree has branches at Manila Town Center, Cebu, Westgate, Alabang, Manila Polo Club, Shangri-La Mall, Serendra, Trinoma, Greenbelt 5 and Eastwood Mall, and Rockwell.
I'm almost scared to ask you how you memorize that sequence.
Anyway. No, I've memorized it by location.
Okay.
Anyway, and we also have some facial soap.
Oh, great.
So it will
not
just
that you need any because
you
Jackie
have
thinks
beautiful
skin.
and some hot chocolate from Classic Herbs Corporation.
Oh, great.
Thank you to
thank you so much.
You can also bring that.
And thank you to Beverly Hills 6750.
Dami
Yeah, so thank you to Tito Cora, Tita Lillian, and to Jay.
Okay, so joining us for the second part of the hour is Ipek Cruz. He is the famous Bubble Boy. He used to write for The Star. I'm saying used to because he's now moving to New York to take his master's in publishing, right?
Yeah.
But I think, okay, you have to start with your She Said.
Okay. She said...
The best Japanese
okay. So he cooks the best Japanese
rice. The best Japanese rice on earth.
Japanese rice.
Actually, he cooks a lot of things really good. He's an excellent cook, but the Japanese rice is unbeatable.
Okay.
Yeah, Cutie loves my Japanese rice.
I want to try it.
Yes. To taste is to believe.
Ladies and gentlemen, Philip Cruz III.
Okay, guys. Hi to all the viewers. Well, I'm just basically here to just talk about my field and what I've been.
So what are you up to?
Okay, so I'm in. I work.
You started with
broadcasting. I started writing for The Star. Well, my whole media career spans about 6 years already here in the Philippines.
Mm-hmm. What did you take up in college?
Well, I was a poli-sci graduate, so because originally I thought I wanted to become a diplomat.
Really?
But I was really.
I think you would also be good as a diplomat.
I was just kind of apprehensive lang kasi naman our foreign service. Often they're very, especially if they're assigned abroad, they're abonado pa kasi diba, they have to.
Totally.
Right?
Yes.
Diba? So I was just apprehensive to really get into that. Although because of my training in college, I was really exploring that. So in the meantime, since I was apprehensive, I ended up working for some companies on Ayala Avenue. So I did that whole corporate scene until
Did you work at SGV for?
Yeah, I was so my first job, I was a business consultant for SGV, which is like one of the cornerstones of like Ayala Avenue. So I was really pulling in a really hard first job, which is good.
Yeah.
Because you should always start off with a difficult job. So diba? So you pick up good work habits. So basically, I worked there for maybe about 4 years on Ayala Avenue until a friend.
That long?
Yeah, around 4 years. Until a friend gave me a call and said, "Hey, we're opening a new young."
This is Philip.
Youth lifestyle and fashion section in the Philippine Star, one of the largest broadsheets in the country. So I said, "Sure." Prior to that, I had only written essays, of course, for college.
By the way, he writes really well. The whole family, they all write well. Christoph, Carissa.
So prior to that, I was just writing term papers and all that. So I had no inkling that my calling would be in print media. So when the section opened, I had this regular column called Bubble Boy.
Yes.
Bubble Boy.
Why Bubble Boy? I never asked you.
I think because like one of my editors said when we were thinking of like what byline should we give you? Byline meaning what column name should we give you? And then I think in the first paragraph of my article, it said bubble of a world. So he said, oh, let's just call it Bubble Boy.
Okay, so not anything about you being the boy in the plastic bubble, like.
Well, it was like a, it was like a, it was like a,
free of all the diseases.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
so antiseptic.
although I had never, of course, everybody was referencing that the old 80s movies, a
Yeah,
movie
yeah.
I think from
There was
before,
a
no,
man
but
who
I
lived
had
in a bubble.
yeah, but
or
I'd
the
never,
Seinfeld episode.
I'd never ever seen that that movie, no, but you know, so I said, okay, Bubble Boy, it's quite catchy, you know, so basically my column was about you know, writing about events and big media.
And you did that for how long?
For about around 2 years.
So
So
that
I
came
covered
before
like
the
I
book.
covered like a lot of things. So like I covered like the ABS like ABS-CBN 50th anniversary. That was a
Uh-huh.
really big production.
Yeah.
So so with that, of course, since you have a media pass, you have full access all the way to the backstage with, you know, all the celebrities and all that. So it's like a red carpet type of like column, no? And then well, I also got to go abroad. I ended up going to Hong Kong also, and let's
For
say
the magazine.
Yeah, I mean for the Star to write about, let's say IWC, you know that, you
The
know, that
brand
watch
of
brand, no?
yeah.
So
Did they give you one?
no, but they gave us the movement, which is the body of the watch, and we had to dissect it, you know,
Really?
gear by gear. And the
And what
one
if you don't
the one
get
who's
put it back?
facilitating it was the head technical guy of IWC, who looked like Einstein, you know. So, you know, it really took me places. Took me to Boracay a lot. So I was in Boracay almost
Yeah,
every
you
month.
had a lot of junkets.
Maybe like twice a month. And of course, you meet the whole gamut
Writers.
of writers and media editors and celebrities who go around this media lifestyle media circuit, no?
One would think, being the son of Philip Cruz, and that he'd go into construction, or being the son of Gina De
Yes,
Venecia,
yes.
that he'd get into politics, having taken Paul Sai, but,
Yeah, but
he
something like
actually
really so
went
different.
on to make this book. He didn't write here, but he took the photos himself. Tell us about
Yeah,
the
so
book.
basically what happened was I was writing a lot for the Star. I had to attend all these red carpet events. So of course, you come into contact with, you know, all these big media personalities and celebrities and, you know, writers and all these like socialites. So of course I had to, you know, take like backstage photos and all. So I just had this little idiot Casio
Back
XLM.
before you had your professional camera.
Yeah,
too.
even before. So it was just this small. You could literally fit it in your pocket. And I basically, in the course of writing my column for the Star and writing for other magazines as well, I ended up with about 300 photos of like, you know, different like celebrities, all the way from Dagul. Remember that Unano? That Unano comedian in ABS, all the way to, of course, a photo of like, you know, let's say the president,
Or
or
Cutie
let's
Del
say,
Mar.
or Cutie, of course.
Yeah.
Cutie was there with.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Did
Who was-
anybody
who-
complain? Like, hey, how come I wasn't in your book?
Yeah, hey, how come
Well-
I'm not in your book?
Yeah.
Well, of course, that this was billeted as you know, it's supposed to be a series, no? But you know how life is. You just
Volume 1.
Yeah.
When was this? When was this?
that was written like that was produced in I think 2005. So the volume 2 was already in production, but the thing is, what happened was my publisher, ABS-CBN Publishing, had offered me a job as well. So from the writing side, I had now gone into the business side. So versus writing for magazines,
And these are the magazines that
yeah,
you wrote for.
I ended up managing the writers and the people who sell to the readers and sell to the advertisers. So I'd gone from the editorial side or the writing side to the publishing side or the business or the managerial side for magazines.
Okay, so you're leaving for New York to.
Well, I'm leaving for New York next week to take a master's in publishing at
publishing.
New York University. I had a
Right.
friend actually, because the thing is, Cutie's always in New York. The most I've ever been in New York is like maybe 2 weeks, and all of a sudden I'm
You're
moving
gonna live
there.
there, yeah.
So I just remember seeing some banners, some NYU banners, while you're walking around the city, and now all of a sudden I'm just moving there. So I had a friend who was there like around 4 or 5 months ago. So I said I didn't have any NYU memorabilia yet, so I had her get this
Oh, the
cap.
cap.
So now I have like an NYU cap,
I
but
love
it's
that.
it's my only school memorabilia so
Oh,
far.
well, as of now.
As of
When
now,
you
but-
look
It's
back.
dark blue because
Yeah.
you just had this theory about navy blue, right?
Yeah, I love navy blue is my favorite color. I mean, aside from black, if you consider black a color.
Yes.
Okay, so your love, you have found out that your love is really
So
writing.
and how everything just fell into place. It turns out that my calling was in print media, meaning my calling was really in magazines. So ever since I've been in I've been in writing and
Are these photos that you took?
these were photos that I took while I was still. Well, this was for one of my magazine columns in an ABS-CBN publication called Metro Society, which is our highest end publication. And for that column, I had to shoot all these mga society personalities and
These are your
and their
articles?
closets. No? So that was actually one of our friends. And then this was this is a sample of one of my
book?
my newspaper columns, the Bubble Boy. If you go back, okay, that was actually the F4 concert. I don't know if you guys remember that when the ABS guys brought them in.
Oh, okay, F4.
Yeah,
Remember
so
when we saw
I-
the hairstyle?
Yeah.
So we had it was interesting.
Or maybe the
Together
person looked like
together with the other star writers, we had cut through the backstage, and we saw all cut through the stage and gone through the
Who
gone
took
to the
this?
front and all that. This was taken by I forget. He's quite known for black and white or sepia
Right.
photos. So that was
Okay, that's Ipac
okay.
Cooking.
That was for this
Okay.
one. This one is for it was for a magazine spread. I think also in our culinary magazine, Food
Food.
magazine, no?
Right.
And this also came out in Metro Society. That was for a just a cooking spread. So I had to make like French roast
And what
chicken
is
and all.
this?
Oh, this one naman, well,
That's
in
what it looks like
in
when-
tandem with my work, I last year I attended publishing an executive publishing course for executives at Stanford University.
Oh, that's right. You
Yeah.
were gone for
So
3 weeks, right?
so it was really great because we were with all these heavyweights from the U.S. publishing
Are these
world.
the heavyweights from the US?
Yeah. Well, these were
Publishing
like
World?
my group mates.
This is United College of Benetton.
Yeah. So this girl over here, she was a Korean. She's Korean. She's an editor for like a big luxury magazine in Korea,
Right.
in Seoul. And this one was an editor of Essence magazine, an Afro-American magazine.
Afro-American, yeah.
And this guy was the editor of Wooden Boats magazine, the largest wooden boat
Right.
And where was that
publication
taken?
for. This
Stanford.
that was taken in Stanford University. As you can see, there are a lot of participants and.
Did that have a lot to do with your wanting to take masters after?
Well, this was really part of the plan also. I had specifically taken that course to also beef up my application to school. I mean,
which of course you got just like that.
well, yeah. Well, luckily,
And how long
with,
are you going to be away?
well, I'll be gone for about 2 years.
Forever.
2
years,
years.
minimum.
Okay.
Minimum. Did you hear him? He said
Yeah,
minimum.
minimum.
He doesn't
Minimum.
even intend to come home for Christmas.
What?
Well, I
For
think
now.
I think yeah. I think I've spent enough.
Well, Cutie will visit you there.
I've spent enough New Year's in Boracay.
We already planned
time to-
how to spend our holidays.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I think
we're gonna
Cutie
watch
and I are
the
gonna do the
ball
whole
drop.
Times Square, Brooklyn Bridge, watch the fireworks by the Brooklyn Bridge
gonna do all
or
that.
something, or like by the East River or whatever.
Watch
you
all
have
the
to you have to
plays.
book her now
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we already
Yeah.
agreed.
already.
Yeah, we
Really?
already said it. It's set in stone.
And you can go.
I will go.
Really?
By this time next year? Oh yeah.
So wait, anyway, I brought some sample magazines here that just to show your readers, like our all the magazines I've managed.
So,
well,
so
in-
do you take the cover photos?
Yeah. So
Ah.
when I was a brand manager for this, meaning if the editor in chief is the one who's like decides what comes in and doesn't come in the magazine,
decide.
I'm the one who decides what kind of paper is going to be used, how many copies are going to be printed.
Okay, so how do you
And all
determine
now.
how many copies will be printed? That's kind of difficult.
Well,
Because you don't want to overprint.
Well, of course you don't want to
Have a loss.
overprint, but you don't want to underprint also, or else nobody
Right.
will see your magazine. So, I guess you just base it on previous performance.
So how many, like, let's say the last one, how many did you have printed?
It depends, no. Of course, when
It
I was
depends
when I
per
was
brand.
It depends per brand. It depends
Right.
on the cover also.
Oh,
At least in the
okay.
magazine
So
world,
whoever's
the magazine
on the
world
cover
it's
determines?
really cover driven.
Right.
So even a really established brand, if they come out with a cover or
Like Michael
or if
Jackson.
they put a photo of a celebrity
I like
who
this.
is not so who doesn't have such a big following
Mm-hmm.
in the newsstands, that'll translate to not a lot of
Sales.
So have you ever
that'll
made a
to
really
lower
bad
sales.
mistake? Like you wanted only this much printed and turns out there are a lot more orders, or you thought this
Well,
would
the thing
sell
is,
so
what
much
I've
and
noticed
didn't
is that
move in the book
there,
stands?
at least, of course, we publish a lot of entertainment magazines also, no? A lot of big TV stars or soap stars or movie stars don't necessarily translate to high. When you put them on the
Sales.
cover, it doesn't mean that their fans on TV are going to go out to the newsstands and pay for a magazine.
So what really determines how much?
It depends. It's actually the cover.
It's the
like,
cover.
It's like, for example, in our case, we always know that whenever you put, like, for example, Chris Aquino on the cover, it's 90% sold.
Really?
No matter
So
how.
your cousin's
no-
raking it in.
Yeah, what about Tito Cory and Noy Noy?
This one sold quite well also. Of course, we have a lower print run for this since it's a very
Metro Society.
yeah, it just targets a very select market.
So
no?
who are the other people that sell? Like if you put them on the
Okay,
cover,
so for
it's- you're
the
sure-
best-selling covers in the Philippines,
Yeah.
okay, one would be Chris Aquino,
Okay.
Claudine Barreto at her peak. No matter even if the lighting's really bad, if she looks really good,
it will sell.
it'll sell.
Yes.
Whereas you have also all these big soap stars who don't really translate to high a lot of sold copies, for
so
example.
Never mind.
Never mind.
What
Yeah.
about mail?
Well, for male naman, well, when you put Piolo on the cover, that always sells.
So I'm curious. How do you